Continental Energy and Investment Forum has kicked off in Johannesburg, South Africa, and is expected to transition to Cape Town, where energy stakeholders from across 10 countries, including Kenya, will congregate to deliberate on the most effective ways to address the continent's energy challenges. Jimmy Mbogo is in South Africa and followed the opening session in Joburg and reports on some of the areas that will take center stage in this year's deliberations in the two cities.
Over 600 million people across sub-Saharan Africa do not have access to electricity. This is according to the Development Bank of Southern Africa, an issue that the African Development Bank now says will require an investment of at least $50 billion annually for close to a decade to bridge the gap. It is why energy sector players drawn from 10 countries are seeking to explore different ways to raise the requisite capital to bridge this gap, even as experts warn that the reliance on concessional and donor funding will not be the solution.
And the questions were asked, and rightfully so, over the years to say, when we say we need to industrialize, what are the key priority sectors that have been identified so that, all the partners can coalesce around? And we need to mobilize for more African financing and investments. Throughout all of this, energy definitely is the backbone to reversing these trends, the trends of industrial stagnation, some may even argue deindustrialization.
Joel Kilo, the former CEO of Ketraco and current director of Nemel, an energy consultancy firm in Kenya, who is part of the Kenyan delegation at the forum, says Kenya's electricity needs will require continuous investment, even as he projects that it will take at least a decade for Kenyans to enjoy cheaper power, depending on the government and private sector's effort to invest in the sector.
Today, when you look at it, you find that in Kenya we got sufficient electricity. We almost got more than what we require because we got about 400 megawatts, which are supposed to come from Ethiopia. And again, we're also developing we got a lot of projects that are in the pipeline. Now, if we're to come up with industries in the country where the consumption will go high, then at the end of the day, I believe in the next, let's say, 5 or 10 years, the cost of electricity will be able to come down.
At the same time, the delegates have been urged to explore projects that align with global goals, such as sustainability, and not to focus on profit alone while they explore areas of collaboration.
And we don't only look at financial returns, we also look at we're very big as the DBSA on ESG stuff, so environmental stuff, social stuff, governance stuff, to make sure that our investments have the right impact in the communities.
As energy sector players congregate here in South Africa for the Continental Energy Investment Forum of 2024, one of the questions they will be seeking answers to is how to raise enough capital to connect over 600 million people across the continent to electricity. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV in Johannesburg, South Africa.